Today I've got a video for you giving you my 30-day progress on the OMAD diet. I'll tell you a little bit about my process, how it all felt, what the results were, and at the end there are some before and after photos. Don't forget to like the video and make sure you hit subscribe. So the first thing you want to know is, how do I feel after 30 days on OMAD? The answer is great. I haven't felt hungry. I haven't felt low on energy. I've managed to do 30 consecutive days where I just eat once a day. I usually eat at 6 p.m. and use the Zero app to track my fast. So you can see here I've done 30 consecutive days and it felt pretty good. So there were a couple of days where I had a shorter fasting window, about 18 hours, and that was around Thanksgiving. And I also had a work trip which I had to travel for. For me, probably the main factor there wasn't so much leading into those events. I was able to keep my eating window shut. But after having alcohol, in particular, the days where I felt maybe a little under the weather, maybe a little seedy and hungover, definitely a little dehydrated, I typically felt like I needed to open my eating window earlier in those days. What did I eat for my one meal a day? Now, I had ambitions to eat low carb, high protein meals. Unfortunately, I have been a little bit slack on that, particularly in the last 2 weeks. You might have watched my 14-day check-in video where I talked about how I was progressing. Since then, I've had a few temptations, like I talked about, and as a result, I haven't been strict on the low carb part of my fasting. However, I've stuck to the one meal a day. It's important to know that some vloggers that talk about OMAD say you can eat whatever you want in your eating window. I unfortunately just don't think that's true. For me, I still need to make sure that I'm conscious of the calories and restricting calories. And I tried to be really good, remembering my goal is to lose weight. And so ultimately, that's down to calorie restriction. And I'm able to do that better if I focus on eating low carb, whole foods, and high protein meals. So my results: 30 days consecutive fasting, I managed to lose 14 pounds, which is around about 6.5 kilograms. I went from 93 kilograms down to 86 kilograms. As you'll know, I did a 14-day check-in, at which point I'd lost 11 pounds. My concern was that that was quite rapid weight loss and it might not be sustainable. So definitely it was not sustainable. I haven't lost near as much weight as I lost in that first 2 weeks as I have in the last 2 weeks. And that's probably down to the fact that I was eating low carbohydrate food in the first 2 weeks. I definitely lost probably a lot of water weight and some fat, but certainly the progress has slowed in the second 2 weeks. On top of that, I haven't been strict with my diet in the second 2 weeks. I've had a few sort of cheat meals and less low carb meals, so it's to be expected that I would have plateaued. You can see here from my weight progress, there's a clear plateau there after about 2 weeks. But the positives are, although the weight loss has slowed, I'm still losing weight, and I'm finding it really easy to sustain the weight that I lost in the first 2 months and the first 2 weeks of the month, which is great. It shows that this method of dieting suits my lifestyle and is probably something that I could sustain. So the next big question is, will I keep doing one meal a day? And I think the answer is pretty obvious. Yes, I haven't felt hungry. I haven't felt fatigued. I haven't felt low on energy. I haven't felt high on energy. Like some people report that they all of a sudden have unleashed this miraculous energy, that was trapped because they weren't, following an OMAD diet, and perhaps they're entering a state of ketosis and rada, rada, rada. I don't buy into that. I wasn't more energetic, but good news is I wasn't less energetic. I drank a lot of coffee and I drank a lot of water through my fasting windows to keep me going. But I was always a big coffee drinker, so I'm not too worried about that. And it's black coffee, so there's nothing else in it, just coffee and water. So yeah, I'll definitely keep the OMAD going, if not to lose more weight, which will be my goal, to sustain the weight that I've already lost. The other big motivator for me is the time that I seem to get back in the day. When you don't have to wake up and plan your meal, pausing for lunch and preparing a meal, I found that I just felt like I had more hours in the day to get stuff achieved. The times I usually would have spent sitting down eating, I was able to perhaps go for a walk, do a bit of extra work. The other bonus is I'm eating once a day, so therefore I'm eating less, right? And we've noticed that our grocery bills are starting to drop. And I was one of the people in the house not contributing at breakfast and lunch every day. So naturally, we've had to buy less groceries to feed me. It's also then concerning because that's all the food I was eating a month ago. And that's really dropped off the volume of food that I'm eating. So therefore, hopefully my calories are reducing as well. Yes, my goal was always 100 days. I'm 30 days in. I'll be putting update videos in 45 days, 60 days, all the way up to 100. And I'm going to keep sharing those before and after photos. Here are some of the before and after photos. It is a little bit embarrassing sharing these photos. I'm not exactly happy with my physique, although I think it's improved a lot in 30 days. I will also say I probably need to do some body hair trimming or somehow take control of that. It's getting a bit out of control. Didn't realize it was that long. If you like this video, you might want to check out these videos that talk about where my journey started and that 14-day check-in. Catch you later.